G'day legends, I hope you're all awesome. We've got the Boss DD-3T on the bench today. Big shout out to my buddy Martin for letting me borrow this pedal. Boss bought this one out a few years ago. It's a reissue of the DD3 that adds tap tempo functionality. It's also kind of rearranged where the jacks are on here, so you can actually have your output and direct output on the same side, which is a lot more pedal board friendly. It runs off a standard 9-volt power supply, and basically it's everything you like about a DD3 or a DD2 with none of the things you don't. Having to run an old style power supply with my old DD2, the fact that it can't really take hot levels from an effects loop and it starts to kind of break up and get crusty. I don't know if they're the things that I love about it or the things that kind of frustrate me about it, but I'm keen to just check this out and give you a very quick overview of it because, you know, old DD2s especially have quite a high asking price now. And I guess the question is, should you go and get one of those if you want that vibe, or can you cop it close enough with the DD3T? I've just got it in a loop of my Axe FX 3. This is the starting point. You can hear a bit of that crust on the delays at certain settings, which is, like I said earlier, one of the things that is so endearing about something like a DD3 or a DD2. They're not super high bandwidth, and for slapback and faux reverb style effects in there, I think that really works in its favor. Similarly, at the really long delay times, because it's a little bit bandwidth limited if you want to do sound on sound stuff, and I can't really do, you know, super long delays on there, but you can still do some fun self-harmonizing on there. The character of the repeats just blends really nicely against your main sound in there. We will hear it with some immense dirt in just a second, but you know, the big extra feature on here is that if you hold this down or you connect an external tap tempo switch in here, you can have tap tempo, and there's 3 different subdivisions available on here, and they're selectable by this mode switch. So rather than be like super short delay, shortish delay, longer delay, now you've got different rhythmic subdivisions. So you just kind of tap your tempo in over here. I'll let you hear a few of the different. Really sweet on the lead delay stuff. You can also hear there for those rhythmic delays, it is quite percussive and strident. Now, the way I would run this is to just use the main foot switch as an on and off switch, and then use an external tap tempo switch like I've got over here to do the tap tempo delays. Having a direct out and an effect out can be pretty cool in stereo with those shorter delays for a faux doubling effect as well, which I'll let you hear right now. So yeah, it sounds like a Boss DD-3. I think that's a win. I think the addition of tap tempo, having the jacks rearranged on there, and the fact that it's probably quieter and more versatile than my old DD2 are definite brownie points for it. I do kind of feel like Boss missed a trick by not including some of the popular mods that are out there for the original DD series, like having a high cut mod in there, like a little switch that would kind of let you curtail some of that excess high end in there and make the delay sound a bit warmer. True stereo outs would have been pretty cool on here, and maybe even a modulation switch. I'm probably getting too far away from the mission statement of putting out a simple DD3. A lot of people love the DD3 and the DD2 because they're easy to use and they just do what they say on the tin. This adds tap tempo. I guess they didn't get too ambitious with it, but I kind of feel like they could have gone just that little bit further and added a few things. If you want all those things though, they have the DD8 as well, which I've done some videos with recently. I would probably still grab a DD8 over this for my rig if I could only have one delay pedal. I think if you were looking for something that's just really, really easy to use and gives you that sound, grab this. If you want a little bit more versatility and you want stereo, the DD8 would be the way to go. And then of course you've got the DD200, which gives you a whole plethora of options, and the DD500, which is kind of like the pro option there. Now I want to hear from all of you. What did you think of the DD-3T? Have you got one of these? Have you got an original DD2 or DD3, or one of the super cool DSD2 or DSD3? Let me know in the comment section below. Shout out to Martin for letting me borrow this. And if you want to support what I do here on the channel, check the video description. You can sign up to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Or you can buy some of the music that I make with my band Ragdoll. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.